Only difference now is that I'm writing more than I used to. I don't want an album to go by now that I don't have at least one song on it.
What if the king of country, George Strait, is about to walk away from it all? Not for fame, not for fortune, but for a heart-wrenching reason that's tearing his world apart. Picture a legend who sold 120 million records, whose love story spans 5 decades, now facing a secret so heavy it could silence his iconic voice forever. Is it a devastating loss, a shocking confession, or a hidden truth about his empire that's about to unravel? From Texas ranches to Nashville's brightest stages, George's journey has been a wild ride, but nothing prepares you for the twist that's coming. Buckle up, because this Hollywood bombshell will leave you stunned, and you won't believe what's next. Stick around. Missing this story would be like skipping the final note of a classic country ballad. Fast forward a bit, and George's world wasn't all dusty trails and horse saddles. As a teen, he rocked out to the Beatles, not twangy country tunes. Shocking, right? He even fronted a band, the Stoics. Chasing that electric vibe while Texas crooned in the background, ignored. But here's the kicker. One random day, he caught a live country show and bam, his soul flipped. Hank Williams and Merle Haggard became his new heroes, pulling him from rock riffs to heartfelt ballads. Little did he know this pivot would spark a confession decades later. George never planned to be the king of country. It found him. Meanwhile, Norma re-entered the frame. After months apart, George reached out, and this time, it stuck. High school sweethearts turned rebels. They jetted off to Mexico in '71, tying the knot in a bold elopement. Back home, they sealed it with a church ceremony, but that first leap, it screamed forever. Yet, whispers of a looming tragedy hovered, a shadow they couldn't see coming. Life shifted gears when George enlisted in the Army, landing in Hawaii with Norma by his side. Their daughter Jennifer arrived in '72, a bundle of joy and paradise. Even as a soldier, George's music itch didn't fade. He snagged a spot in Rambling Country, an army band, keeping his dream pulsing. But paradise wasn't permanent. A storm brewed, and soon their picture-perfect life would crack. Today, that cracks a chasm. Norma's diagnosis has George teetering on the edge, weighing a dramatic exit from the stage. Why would a man who sold over 100 million records walk away? It's not just love, it's duty. A choice that's ripping fans apart and rewriting his legacy. Hold tight, because this goodbye might hide a twist no one saw coming. But George isn't the only headline here. His financial empire's a saga of its own. From a ranch kid to a mogul, he's stacked a fortune that dazzles. His garage? A Bentley Continental GT purrs next to a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, with a classic Ford Mustang nodding to his roots. On his wrist, a Rolex Submariner or Patek Philippe Nautilus gleams, ticking away his success. Real estate's his playground too. A Texas ranch sprawls across acres. A Hawaiian beach house echoes his army days, and a Nashville penthouse screams country royalty. Oh, and he's got a Gulfstream G650 jet, soaring above the chaos. Investments? George owns a slice of the San Antonio Spurs and pours his heart into Código 1530 tequila, a hit with fans. Insurance locks it all down, health, assets, career, shielding his wealth from life's curveballs. What's the takeaway? Diversify like George, music's his core, but ventures multiply the cash. Live humble, even with millions. He's still that grounded cowboy. And protect what you build. Insurance isn't flashy, but it's smart. Rewind to George's past, and the contrast stings. Once a rock-obsessed teen dodging country, he's now its heartbeat, with 60 number-one hits and a voice that defines a generation. Norma was his anchor then, and she's his rock now, but the stakes are higher. Their love story, once a sweet Texas tale, faces a brutal test. Financially, he's untouchable. Past struggles on the ranch are a distant memory, swapped for luxury and power. Yet, this diagnosis drags him back to vulnerability, proving even icons bend. What secret news is George holding back about his next move? Fans are buzzing, and the silence is deafening. George Strait's saga from Big Wells to Hollywood's glare is a roller coaster of grit, glamour, and grief. Stick around, because the dramatic developments unfolding could flip this script entirely and you won't believe what's next. But here's the kicker. Success didn't come easy, and George's dreams nearly slipped through his fingers. Their early singles with D Records flopped, leaving George pouring his heart into songs that didn't stick. Frustration mounted and he juggled ranch work to keep the bills paid, wondering if music was a fading dream. Norma, his rock, wouldn't let him quit. She pushed him to give it one more year, her faith unshakable. That persistence paid off big when Irv Woolsey, a manager with MCA Records ties, caught wind of George's talent. Nashville trips followed, but rejections piled up. Labels couldn't peg his unique, traditional yet fresh sound. Just when George eyed a steady gig designing cattle pens, Norma's plea kept him in the game. Then, boom! 1981 changed everything. MCA Records took a chance on him with a one-shot deal. Unwound dropped, soared to number 6 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, and suddenly, George was the name on everyone's lips. His debut album, Strait Country, solidified his star status, blending cowboy authenticity with a new traditional vibe. By 1982, Foolhardy Memory hit number 1, and in 1983 he headlined the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, stepping in for Eddie Rabbitt. Accolades stacked up and George's career became a golden ticket. Fast forward and George isn't just a music icon. He's a financial powerhouse with a luxury lifestyle that'll make your head spin. His net worth? A cool $300 million today, up from humble six-figure beginnings in the early 80s. Experts project it'll climb to $400 million by 2025, fueled by music royalties, sold-out tours, and sharp investments. His real estate empire is a stunner, a $10 million Texas ranch sprawling across thousands of acres, doubling as a cattle and horse operation. A Hawaiian beach retreat snapping up at $5 million, and a Nashville penthouse bought for $3 million, tying him to country music's core. These gems showcase his knack for turning passion into profit. Cars? George's collection is pure class. A Bentley Continental GT for sleek power, a Mercedes-Benz S-Class for timeless elegance, and a vintage Ford Mustang nodding to his roots. On his wrist, a Patek Philippe Nautilus or Rolex Submariner keeps time with his legacy. Travel's no less luxe. He owns a Gulfstream G650 private jet, whisking him coast to coast in style. But wait, there's more. George's business moves are next level. He's got a slice of the San Antonio Spurs, a stake that's ballooned in value, plus Código 1530 tequila, a brand raking in cash and fan love. Comprehensive insurance shields it all. Health, assets, career, proving he's as smart as he is successful. Now, brace yourself. George's love story with Norma is the heartbeat of this saga, and it's hit some gut-wrenching lows lately. Married over 5 decades, their bond shone in moments like his 1989 CMA Entertainer of the Year win, Norma beaming by his side. In 2020, George's rare Instagram post for Valentine's Day melted hearts, a photo of them with words of gratitude. But recent years brought a devastating loss that shook their world, a private sorrow they've faced together away from the spotlight. Norma gave up her career to raise their family, anchoring George as he chased stardom. Her rare 2019 appearance reminded us of her quiet strength. So, what's the secret sauce behind George's rise from ranch hand to royalty? It's grit, love, and a refusal to settle. Past milestones, like that first hit or headlining Houston, contrast with today's empire, showing a journey of relentless hustle and heart. His impact? Undeniable, from chart toppers to charity through the George Strait Foundation, aiding veterans and disaster relief. As dramatic developments unfold, George and Norma's story keeps us captivated. Proof that even legends face struggles, yet their legacy only grows stronger. Rewind to happier times, and you'd see George and Norma as the ultimate power couple. Their love story, sparked in Big Wells, Texas, bloomed through an elopement in Mexico and a church ceremony in '71. By 2021, they hit a rare milestone. 50 years together, George marked it with a Las Vegas performance of I Cross My Heart, pouring his soul into every note as Norma watched, their bond a beacon for fans. He shared their teenage love story on stage, a tale of small-town sparks and bold moves. But here's the hook. Even golden anniversaries can't shield you from life's curveballs. That same year, George posted a throwback photo with Norma alongside former President George H.W. Bush, a nod to how far his career had soared, from ranch kid to White House guest. But sorrow struck again. In 2009, George lost his brother John Buddy Strait at 58, another blow that echoed the fragility of life. These losses reshaped George, yet he channeled his grief into music, turning pain into poetry. Between 1986 and 1989, he churned out 11 straight #1 hits, outpacing legends like Conway Twitty. By 1989, he snagged the CMA Entertainer of the Year award, repeating in 1990 and added ACM Entertainer of the Year titles in 1990 and 2014. His tours? Massive. In 2014, The Cowboy Rides Away drew over 100,000 fans at Arlington's AT&T Stadium. Then in 2024, he shattered records with 110,000 at Kyle Field, the largest ticketed U.S. concert for a single act. But here's the twist. No stage could outshine the shadow of Jennifer's loss. George's financial empire, though, is a masterclass in building wealth. His net worth, now $300 million, grew from modest millions in the 90s to a projected $400 million by 2026, driven by tours, royalties, and savvy ventures. His real estate portfolio dazzles: a $10 million Texas ranch, a working cattle operation, a $5 million Hawaiian retreat, a nod to his Army days, and a $3 million Nashville penthouse, tying him to music's heart. Luxury cars, a Bentley Continental GT, Mercedes-Benz S-Class, and a classic Ford Mustang rev up his style. His wrist sports a Patek Philippe Nautilus or Rolex Submariner, timeless like his hits. A Gulfstream G650 jet keeps him soaring, while investments like a San Antonio Spurs stake and Código 1530 tequila pour in profits. Insurance, health, assets, career, locks it tight. Lesson: spread your bets. George's music pays, but ventures amplify. Now let's zoom into the aftermath of Jennifer's tragedy. Norma, shattered, wrestled with guilt, wondering if she could have changed fate. She poured her heart into the Jennifer Lynn Strait Foundation, launched in 1986 to aid kids and prevent other families' pain. It became her lifeline, a way to honor her daughter. George, meanwhile, shied from interviews, guarding his grief but never his music. Their son, Bubba, just 5 then, needed them too, and they rallied to keep family first. Norma's rare public moment came in the Código video, dancing and laughing in Mexico, a joyful glimpse of their bond. But here's the gut punch. Recent years brought fresh challenges, with Norma's health scare shaking their foundation. What's George hiding about this latest storm? Compare George's past, a scrappy ranch kid turned country king, to now, and the contrast is stark. Once dodging country for Beatles riffs, he's now its heartbeat, with 60 #1 hits and a legacy that's untouchable. Yet, personal losses ground him, reminding us even icons bleed. His impact ripples through music and charity, with the foundation aiding countless lives. As dramatic developments swirl, George's story is far from over. What secret move is he planning next? The whispers are growing louder, and the next chapter promises a twist that'll keep you glued. Flashback to George's roots, and you see a Texas kid who never chased trends. That iconic cowboy hat? It wasn't a prop, it was his soul. In the late 80s, when country music flirted with pop, George doubled down on traditional twang, sparking a movement. Artists from Garth Brooks to Alan Jackson followed his lead, cementing his influence. His stats are staggering: over 120 million records sold, 33 platinum albums, and 60 #1 hits. But here's the hook. Behind the numbers lies a man whose heart beats for family. Norma, his teenage sweetheart, stood by him through dive bar gigs and global tours. Their 50-year marriage, celebrated in 2021 with a tear-jerking I Cross My Heart performance, is a rarity in showbiz. Now, her health struggle casts a shadow, and George's next move has fans on edge. His financial empire, though, shines brighter than ever. George's net worth, a robust $300 million, grew from $10 million in the 90s to a projected $450 million by 2027, fueled by tours, royalties, and killer investments. His real estate game is next level: a $10 million Texas ranch, a working cattle spread, a $5 million Hawaiian getaway, echoing his Army days, and a $3 million Nashville penthouse, a nod to his music roots. Luxury cars? Picture a Bentley Continental GT, a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, and a vintage Ford Mustang roaring in his garage. A Patek Philippe Nautilus or Rolex Submariner graces his wrist, ticking with timeless swagger. His Gulfstream G650 jet zips him to gigs, while ventures like a San Antonio Spurs steak and Código 1530 tequila rake in millions. Insurance, health, assets, career keeps it locked down. The lesson? Stay true to your craft, invest wisely, and protect your wealth like G. But let's talk heart. The loss of daughter Jennifer in 1986 left scars that never faded. George and Norma, gutted, rarely spoke of it. But when they did, it was with grace, thanking the heavens for 13 years with her. They poured their grief into the Jennifer Lynn Strait Foundation, helping kids and shielding other families from similar pain. Then, in 2009, George's brother Buddy passed, another reminder to hold loved ones close. Yet, George kept singing, turning sorrow into songs that resonated worldwide. His 2014 Cowboy Rides Away tour with stars like Miranda Lambert and Jason Aldean drew a record-breaking 104,000 fans in Arlington. In 2024, he topped it at Kyle Field with 110,955, a historic feat. But here's the twist: no crowd can drown out Norma's current struggle. George's offstage life is just as compelling. He's a golf enthusiast, a fishing fanatic, and a Bahamas beach bum, savoring quiet moments far from fame's glare. His Wrangler National Patriot work since 2010 supports veterans, a cause he champions with ads and events, even partnering with Tractor Supply Company to spread the word. In 2015, Cold Beer Conversation dropped, a fan favorite despite missing the top 10, a sign George sings for love, not charts. Now, as Norma's health hangs in the balance, rumors of a final goodbye grow louder. Will he retire for good? Fans are buzzing, and the silence is deafening. Compare George's past, a scrappy dreamer dodging rejections, to today's icon, and the journey's humbling. Once a rock-loving teen, he redefined country music, earning CMA and ACM Entertainer of the Year titles. His public image always reserved contrast with today's vulnerability as he faces Norma's crisis. His impact endures through music, charity, and a tequila brand fans adore. Financially, he's untouchable, but emotionally, he's human. What's the secret news he's holding back? The stakes are high, and the world's watching. George Strait's story, from big wells to global stages, is a testament to grit, love, and staying true. As this chapter closes, one truth lingers. His legacy is eternal, but his heart belongs to Norma. Keep watching. This cowboy's ride isn't over yet.